Hello and welcome to another live stream. My name is Shane Olson, and I wonder if I just stomped over another stream. Hey Neil, what's going on? Were you guys watching Rodolfo? Is that what was going on? I think I might have just cruised over his stream. I hope I didn't interrupt him. Dang it. Anyway, hello and welcome. Let's see here. So, yeah, I don't think he did. Okay, hopefully not. Okay, Rodolfo, if you're watching, I apologize if I did. Okay. So, I think this is AI generated. I'm not sure, but I couldn't find an artist, and it comes from a different kind of a page of art or generations. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Matt? Hey, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Okay. Go ahead and just kind of flatten the sides here. This will be his cranium. And we'll just kind of shorten it up a little bit and work through it. So how are you all doing today? Yeah, it's just weird because it shows like 59 people watching, but I think that's kind of left over. I don't think it's saying it correctly, like what is actually happening. how many people are watching in reality? Okay. It's been a while since I've blocked out a character like this. It's fun. I think I might have made it too large. I think it is AI. Yeah, I think so. YouTube says 15. Awesome. What's up, Midnight? Welcome. Okay, so I'm going to squish this down. He's got a really fun kind of this face going on. Mississippi. Nice. I spent some time in Mississippi. I was in the military for a little bit. I spent some time at Gulfport near Biloxi. It's been a long time. Long time. Okay. Kind of make it wide like this. All right. Hey, other Neil. How's it going? All right. I'm watching this awesome Nile Rodgers Tiny Desk concert. Oh, it's so good. He's like one of the best guitarists ever. Okay. I'm going to kind of pull this back and start to make it his jawline. You knew it? Are you anywhere near Gulfport? Yeah, Biloxi was or is, I don't know if it still is. It was like an Air Force base. Okay, I'm gonna shrink this down. I made it too big. Maybe like this. So if you show my ruler, you can kind of gauge how big it is. This is about the size you want to be, because in a little bit, it's I'm going to be using Sculptris Pro, and Sculptris Pro at a very small size doesn't do very good. You don't get enough density. So, excuse me, I like to scale it up, so that way I can get smaller triangles. There we go. That's probably a good size. You wish. Yeah, that was a good time. I was actually down there it was a, well, this'll age me. It was 1990. There you go, 90. I was a young buck. But I was able to go to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, so that was awesome. Yeah, I felt super lucky that I was able to witness and go to that. That was crazy. Okay. I feel like his forehead and head needs to be taller. Okay. We'll get his little ear in there. Oh, you know what? I don't have music going. I've been enjoying having a little music going, so I mean, I'm listening to music, but I'm not sharing it with you all because I would get a copyright strike. So let's get this going. How shall we? Tell me if you can hear this. There we go. I don't want it to get too loud. There we go. Just chillaxing. Chillaxing and sculpting. There we go. All right. Some fun base. Okay, for the body, I kind of like to take a sphere and like lean it forward like this. I guess it would be leaning backwards, but kind of rocked that way. And then scale it wide enough that the cylinder or the sphere starts to create the rolled shoulders. Brad, how are you, sir? What's going on? Too much smoothing. How many are, Neil, are you still in Twitch? Do you have that open? The title threw me off. What title? Old Man Johnson? Or is it not updated? It still says Rodolfo? So I think he was streaming earlier today. Rodolfo, okay. I'm gonna hit update again and see if it'll lock in. Okay, I just did it. Did it work? Tell me it worked. Maybe refresh that. Okay. Sweet. I called this guy Old Man Johnson. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I tried original Neil's instructions for Z Startup Utility, but it's random whether it works or not. I got mine working, other Neil. I got it working. So it's right here, Z Startup Utility. Yeah, I put it in the location that the other Neil said to put it, and it's working. So so that's good. Let's see. I'll show you. It's still the same title on YouTube. Oh, I've just had this on all day as I sculpt. I see. It's like looking into a mirror. Old man Brad. That's what I should have named him, huh? Okay, I'll try it one more time. Updating the titles. Come on, Restream. You can do it. I know you can. I believe. Okay, I was going to show you where they go. So I'll pull this down here in a second. Program files, Maxon. Okay. So C, this is on Windows machine, by the way. If you're on Mac, that might be a reason why it's not working. Program files, Maxon ZBrush 2026, if that's the version you're using. And then if you go into Z data right there, and then if you go to Z plugs 64 right here, and then put it in this folder. Yeah, so then it's been working for me pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that title updated or not. I'm going to go ahead and separate this body off of here. Let's do split hidden. And then I'm going to give it real subdivision levels. So Control D a couple times. Turn this off. And then delete the lower, just so I have more geometry like this. Because I want to give it a good Z remesh. Okay. So let's Z remesh this. I'm gonna do it same and see what it gives me. Yeah, we'll see. Not bad. Maybe do half. I was hoping it would start to kind of follow the edges there. Let's do it one more time. That's pretty good. Okay. We can kind of soften these edges a little bit. And might as well go ahead and give it a color. Make his head kind of this pink. Goodness sakes. That came out of nowhere. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give him some ears. So what are you all working on today? It's pretty fun to start the block out every time. It's like a fresh start. Just gonna watch you and come back to the female I'm working on. It's in Cringe Canyon. Jumped under a lot of rocks. So I'll come back to it another day. Oh, I liked your Johnny Bravo. That turned out pretty good. It's really clean. I replied, but for some reason it didn't get posted anyway. That's where mine's located, but as I say, it's random if it works or not. Weird. Lost animatronics from the 80s. Been finishing up and after a year. Oh goodness. What animatronic? That sounds a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun. Like Chuck E. Cheese. Hey, what's up, Jerome? How are you doing? Feathers? You're doing feathers? How's that going? Are you on the struggle bus? Hey, David, a sculpt on my sister. Nice. That's fun. It's a nightmare. Are you doing chunky feathers, like with thickness to print? It was this 14-foot ogre made from high motion. Yes, it does sort of look like Chuck E. Cheese. Something from Henson. Oh, interesting. That sounds fun. Right on. Print it out and give it to her. Oh, nice. That'll be fun. It used to be displayed at a local store around Halloween. Ah. Nice. Been searching for a new concept, but just not finding anything that speaks to me. Might go through the back catalog instead. Yeah. I've been collecting concepts for years and years and years. I actually have kind of I guess they used to call it a morgue file, like on my Pinterest page, and it just kind of has a whole bunch of concepts that I'm a fan of. It's like maybe I'll scope this one day. So here, I'll pull that up 1 second. Yeah, it's this one. It's just called Inspirational Characters. And I just kind of browse the internet, the Pinterest, and if I find a design, sometimes I'll like it twice. And I'll just add it into this file. This is like years of collection, basically. And what I like about it is if there's a character that I like, I can most often click into it and find more like it, if that's kind of the mood I'm feeling. And then, yeah, it's interesting seeing these because my students have sculpted a lot of these as well. So it's kind of fun to see those popping up. Yeah, I mean, that's my my lane, stylized characters, So that's what I do. So Jerome, is there anything I can help you like demo for you or anything with the feathers? Just wondering if I can help you out with those. Okay, with this, I think I don't want to Z-remesh this whole face. I just want to Z-remesh this ear. So I'm going to split it off. And then, so we'll do a split hidden, and I just want to Z-remesh this because it's getting a little stretchy. So I'm going to hit same and then Z-remesh it and see what it gives me. That's better. Okay, I'm trying to see if this has a secondary. It kind of does have that second cup inside there. Thank you, but no, I must embrace the pain. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes with feathers, what I'll do is I'll make the main feather shape, just that kind of feather icon looking shape, and then put the stem in it. And then for the breaks, I'll make a triangle, and then I will use live boolean to cut the triangle out. That way I can control the cuts out of it, but sometimes you want to have kind of chunkier pieces, you know, like, man, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say here. You know what might work is Steven Anderson has a brush that is like a flat hairbrush. Let me think about that. I think that might work. Well, it depends on the look you're going for, but hey John, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. So let's see here. Yeah, let me just think about it for a minute. I think I have his brush loaded actually. Those are all the SK brushes. I can't remember what the icon looks like or what it's called. It's not this toxic brush. It's like a flat hairbrush. You can also, with this new folder system that they've put in the latest version, you can actually put your brushes and kind of organize them into folders, into your own user folder inside of Lightbox here. So if I go to brushes and go to user, see, this is the ones that, these are the ones that ship with Maxon right here. They've added these two side tabs right here, and you can click on your user one, and I've added folders in here. And so, but I don't think I put the hairbrush in here. I might have. Here. Oh, there it is. I think it might be this one. Okay, let me try it out and see. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, this is kind of what I was thinking about. Let me just try something out here. I'm going to append. Let's see, where are we here? Append just a star or something, throw away. Then I'm going to replace it with this appendage here. There we go. Because I'm just curious, I want to try it, but I'll just stretch this out. So if you can imagine this being like the feather stem, I don't even know what it's called. A skin colored feather stem. Let's make it gray. And then we'll go back to Steven's brush here. I just got this brush off of ArtStation. But what I was thinking is, see all these shapes? They end in a square. And I'm thinking I could just drag it out to the side like this. And then drag it a little straighter. And then if you tap, it'll get rid of the curve. And then just pick a different one and kind of overlap it a little bit. And tap on that one, and then you can edit it. So it can be just a little longer. You can turn on dynamic and kind of center it. You can make it bigger. And then just kind of, you could even do it over a picture of a feather, and maybe maybe turn it, because feathers kind of have this shape to it, right? Let's do auto groups. Oh, these have extra bits in them too. That's kind of nice. There's a trick you can do with the transpose tool too, where if you have this, if you have the gizmo, you can kind of park it right at the beginning, and then turn on the transpose line, which basically you could click off of this gizmo icon right here. It'll give you this transpose line, which looks like this. It has like three dots. Well, you can move it around by clicking this middle ring and kind of park this left ring with the axis on it. That's the origin, and this is the end with this white dot. But you can switch to move by pushing W, and you can grab this red dot and you can kind of skew it like this. See? Okay. I hope that makes sense, but basically this is now kind of a, if you go up and then back down using shapes like this, I don't know if that's kind of the look you're after or not, but it almost looks pine cone-ish. But you could be kind of a, you could make a chunky feather like this. And just kind of, you can make the cuts in it too. Like triangles, like deeper cuts like this, you know? Just by spreading these out apart, you can have those triangles. And there's all sorts of brushes in there that you can choose from to kind of lay them out. So, so David, what are you saying? This is hard to explain without being able to show you the concept, but how would I do the hair strands that work on a print? You just need them thick. So, and no gaps in, so no air pockets underneath them if you can help it. And the best way, actually, if you wait until I get to this dude's hair, I don't know if you're doing short hair, long hair, or what, but with this one, I'll probably just use this carve brush and just carve it out, and make it 3D printable. And same with the eyebrows. I'll probably just make them into a chunk, and then do it that way. Okay. Anyway, Jerome, I don't know if that'll help you, but hopefully it'll give you some ideas, maybe. Okay. Back to the grumpy old man Johnson feller. You know, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and pose his head down so I can get better idea of the proportions on him. Let's go back to this gizmo. And I can now combine these two. You need that brush. It is, let me find it. It's really great for blocky hair too, that ends like flat. So this is my buddy Steven Anderson. He's awesome. He's from Utah as well. Yeah, he does some really great stuff. But he sells his brushes here on ArtStation. I don't know, Neil, would you mind taking a moment and seeing if you can find that? Because I don't see a link to his store right from his page there. But he has a couple different hair brushes on there, and that one I like a lot just because it has a lot of variety with the flat ends. Okay, so I'm just going to subdivide this once, get rid of that lower subdivision so it's more dense. Okay. I'm going to combine the ears with this head here, merge down. Send it to you on Discord. Oh. I don't think that's the one. I mean, that's one of his hairbrushes, but it's not this one. Hold on a second. I think if you click his name and then, oh, I found it. Okay. So it's this one right here. It's called Smartest Rounded Hair Chunks. Yeah, see these hairs, but you can kind of see how you could make a feather out of it, right? Yeah. So let me give it to you. Here's a link to it. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. If you can't find it, Jerome, just message me after and I can help you get it. Yeah, David, for that hair, David was asking me about this hair right here. It has more separated pieces in here. So I would use a hairbrush like Dylan Ekron's brush or something like it. And just drag strands out after. So you can kind of like just block it out first to get the initial shape and then rebuild it with strands, like with a hairbrush. But just make sure there aren't any gaps underneath it and you should be good. You're welcome, Jerome. Hope it helps out, man. You know what I was thinking of when I put that together in my head? I used to play this game from Microsoft called Grounded. It's kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And so you're like running around in the backyard and you're really small. Anyway, there's these crows that land and they drop feathers as a resource, and you can go grab them and break them, and the feather chunks that you gather look like that brush. They're really chunky, and the feathers themselves are chunky like that, you know, crow feathers. And I'm like, hey, that kind of looks like Steven's brush. And so anyway, that's my thought process. Okay. Did it? Okay, there we go. I just want to turn his head kind of down and kind of tuck it in here. It's kind of like, bring his neck. Picture him having kind of a, yeah, his neck, I might have to adjust that a little bit. It might be a little too thick, but we'll see. And he's kind of looking up through his brows. So let's build up those brows and see what we can get. And then down, and then he's got that little beaky nose. And this really like grumpy face. Yeah, I don't really want to put his mouth in there yet because I'm still kind of keeping it low here. Just trying to block out the gauntness of his cheeks here. I think they're too far forward. You can use polish brush to kind of flatten things out. And his little eye sockets. He's got beady little eyes that are quite far apart, hidden by his glasses. They're a little hard to see, but we can get him in there. Okay. I like this song. It's from another chillax list that I listen to. Okay. Let's split these off. And then I'm going to see if I can't grab this white and fill it. Okay. And we'll pull these brows down a lot after we get the nose in place. Save this off. Awesome concept. Hey, toy maker, how's it going? Yeah, it's pretty fun. I love the shapes. I love how his jowls are just kind of hanging like a dog. And he's got this really grumpy, bushy eyebrows, and yeah, he's got some fun stuff going on. Okay. Let's thicken up. This fill brush works better on denser meshes, but I'll see if I can make it work here. Just want to pull this down a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. Get his forehead to curl in a little bit more. And then his cheeks. And it kind of dips way in right here, which is a super fun shape. And then kind of underneath his nose, it dips in as well. All along here. And then kind of comes back out. His chin. That's funny. Okay. Let's get a nose in there. Little beaky wonderment. Perfect. Ship it. Okay, let's grab this color, fill it, and then we'll kind of make it more beaky. Something like that. Then we can come in here with the detail brush, kind of give it a little ridge. Not too hot though. Here we go. And just kind of give him some nostrils. So I'm working on a brand new course, and I'm pretty excited about it because it's you know, I've had a mentorship for a couple years, and every single week I basically give my students feedback on over and over again kind of the same thing. And the feedback I give them is basically teaching them how to see the shapes, how to see the forms, how to see the surfaces. And so I'm making a course and I'm naming it Learning How to See. And I'm building this checklist that you can kind of print out and stick by your side while you're sculpting, and just kind of self-correct as you're sculpting. And I have a first draft done of it. I still need to, I want to put some examples like right on it, so you can kind of know what I'm talking about, or at least get an idea of what I'm talking about. And then hopefully it'll help you out. And then the course is going to be basically going through that checklist in detail and looking at several models as examples, and just kind of showing you what I think about as I'm sculpting something. Measuring, figuring out spacing and where things live and that kind of stuff. But anyway, does that sound like something that you would be interested in? Just curious. Because up until now, I've just done a, you know, follow along with me as I sculpt this thing. And I don't think that is as valuable or as productive as a let's figure out how you could sculpt any character that you wanted if you could learn how to see the shapes. And Jerome, if you're still here, I would love to go over that list with you and see if you agree with me. Whenever you have time, if you could, that'd be amazing. I'll kind of show you the text of it, the preview of it. Can I see it? Happy to, that'd be awesome, thanks. No. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. Just to show you guys kind of, yeah, here it is. I'm just putting it together in Canva, but this is just the text side of things. So on this side, if I have enough room, I was going to put examples of what I'm talking about. But I have these 4 different levels. I have foundation, appeal, physics, and presentation. So the foundation is what I'm doing right now with this guy, and doing measuring, adjusting the density, making sure everything flows together, making sure it all matches, that kind of stuff. Adding appeal, which is like rhythm and variety and structure and plane harmony, which I'm also doing at the same time. And then later on, when I do expressions and posing and things like that, I get into weight and balance and spiral and tilt, like if it looks good from all directions, and how everything kind of gels and has rhythm and flows with each other. And then lastly is like the coloring and the rendering, that stuff. So it's like going to all the, why go to all the trouble if you're not going to light it and display it correctly, kind of a thing. And then this is just kind of a mindset stuff. Just to remind you that it doesn't have to be perfect until, you know, like it'll mostly be crappy the entire time while you're working on it. So don't fret because it's messy. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of it. and I'm just kind of getting into the details of it and just making sure I don't miss anything, or yeah, just something to kind of go through. And then like I said, you're going over that now for a class I'm teaching in June. I saw that class. You're teaching it live, right? I wish I could go. Yeah, dang. That's great. Maybe we can collaborate on it and I'll share it with you. And where are you teaching that at again, Jerome? Is it like New Jersey or something? Five-day workshop in clay. Oh my goodness. That sounds amazing. I think, doesn't Andre do something similar? That's great. If you want to share details, feel free. If you don't have, unless it's full. Brook Green Gardens. Nice. South Carolina, is that SC? That's my dumb showing. That's awesome. Someday. Yeah, I would love to take one of Andre's classes. Is it Andre or Andrea? I can't remember how you pronounce his name, but oh, I love his stuff so much. You know, I think I want to bring these out and forward. I love how loose he works. And how you can almost see, like, if it was paint, you could see the paint strokes, right? You can see the finger manipulation, sculpting strokes. Okay, so see how this is all stretched, and there's a pole that I'm fighting with. It's at this point where you can just ZRemesh it. Just hit same, ZRemesh, go, and it will fix all that. And then you're not fighting with the poles, you're keeping it clean. And it will also tend to pack the edge loops around the creases, the peaks, and the valleys if you have valleys. So then it becomes just nice and clean, and then you can come along here with this gather brush if you want to, and gather those loops together even more and make it even cleaner if you want. And now I can take this and let's fill it and flip it. So just copy it, spin it. I think I'm going to split it off there for a minute so I can control it a little better. There we go. It's funny how much personality you can give him an expression just by moving things around a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see his eyelid up underneath his brow right here. It's how it's kind of tucked, and it's given this kind of crease. I really want to push this crease way down into his head to give it some dark shadow right there. Just so it doesn't have this weird stair-steppy thing happening too much. And that's kind of the value of keeping your objects separate, is that now I can go right over top of this with a detail brush and it's just like pushing it in and kind of revealing that eyelid a little more. But it's in turn, it's also pushing the crease above that eyelid back into his head, making it deeper so then it can, you know, have more shadow there. And then I can roll his lid further back and down even more, revealing that dark spot. And I like to overlap the upper lid over the bottom lid like this. And then all integrated eventually. And I don't always make lower eyelids, but with older gentlemen like this guy, it helps. It helps age him up. I mean, it's part of the design. I usually omit lower eyelids for like females because, like I said, it will age them up. Sometimes it works if the design calls for it. Let's see. But typically I'll just put an eyelid shelf, just a little crease right outside the eyeball to catch light, to indicate that there's an eyelid. And then I'll also put that little indent like right next to the tear duct to also catch the light, because there's a flat plane right there. Like right here. Okay. So now that I have this in place, I can really turn on topological and really pull this brow down. Start to get that expression and see how this is kind of turning inside here. I don't necessarily want that, so I can smooth it and bring it up. Like so. And now I want to get his hair in there. I think his eyes are too far apart. I was trying to push him too far apart on purpose, but I think I went too far. He's looking like a hammerhead shark. Okay, so I'm going to combine these all together so I can move them together and keep them together. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and save as. Anytime you're going to merge things down because it's an undoable process, I will save just so I can go back. So starting with this one, I'm going to merge down 2 times. So now we have these eyeballs with their lids as parts. Whoop, what did I do? I don't know what I did there. See, good thing I saved. Looks like I jacked it up. I don't know what I did. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now what we could do is just, I was trying to realign the gizmo and recenter it in those eye objects, but it keeps switching over to this other subtool for some reason. Yeah, I'm trying to get it centered in here. There it goes. I think what I was doing is holding down Alt and tapping on this button, but I was missing and hitting the head instead, and it was switching subtools. Okay, so just kind of bring this in a little tighter. That's feeling better. Because usually there's like 5 eye, just if you want to get down to like a rule in a face, there's like 5 eyes across, right? So unless it's a stylized character and it breaks that rule, but typically if you take this size eye right here, I could draw it better. This size eye. Okay, you should have another eye here and one in the middle. This one's obviously bigger it's not the same size. So it goes clear from here over to here. See, so my guy's eyes are further apart than they should be because they don't see how much smaller. And then to the ear is another one. So that's kind of the distancing in a, if you want a rule, you know. I could have drawn it better, but that's kind of how you can figure out just a simple guide to give yourself to just to know what you can break, I guess. See, though, if I get it too much closer, it doesn't look right. I got to make it feel like that guy, and he seems like his eyes are further apart than one eye distance. That's why. That's just a feeling I have, so I was trying to get it, and his eyes are kind of tucked up underneath his brows. So I was trying to pull him in and up. Anyway, nobody said anything. Are you guys, I'm just curious, are you guys interested in that, in a course like that, learning how to see? Are you guys too into what you're doing to reply? I get that too. You're just like, I'm in the middle of sculpting. I'm not going to put my pen down and go type. It's too much. You're asking me too much. Or nobody's watching me anymore. Okay, let's see. Let's go to, let's get this in Sculptris Pro so I can start to get these bigger shapes, or these medium shapes in there and going. So, okay, so we have this now. Rename card. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm curious to know if that would be more valuable to you than a follow along with me as I sculpt this character, you know? Because I want to show lots and lots of examples, not just one character all the way through. Okay, I'm going to take this here and push it in now. Usually on stylized characters, the rule of the, the 5 eyes across, usually going from the eye to the ear, if you look at it from straight on, it's narrower than one eye. Makes sense? Depending on how much it was, I'd be interested. David, it's a brand new course, so it's kind of like the original 3D character workshop. Not quite as high priced as that, but like it's a full workshop. So and it would be like, it would be, you know how it's split into 4 levels. It would be 4 days worth of instruction, like 4 modules, I guess you would call it, 4 sections. I think I might do the first run live across 4 days. I think. Kind of like Jerome's going to do live. Something like that. I don't know yet, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Okay, why won't you go in? It's like it's pushing it in a weird direction. That's strange to me. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this together and start to Sculptris Pro it. So I'm going to do, again, another save. And it's kind of a companion to the 3D Character Workshop, you know? So you can use it with the other workshop because it's a guide, right? can't help noodling this more. And then that guide kind of leads to the mentorship if you need more help. Or yeah, if you want some more coaching, help seeing. Okay, so let's do grouping this together, stitching it. Remesh by union. Except so yeah, it's not technical. It's not about the software. So it's software agnostic. You can use whatever you want to follow along with because it's artistic knowledge. Okay, I'm going to put this whole thing in just one poly group and then yeah, I'm just going to turn on symmetry and then just kind of use Sculptors Pro. Let's see if it remembered, Neil. Stroke. Sculptors Pro. It remembered. It's off. Very cool. Okay. Yay. Maybe a little denser than this. So it's not a learn how to use ZBrush course or any other software. It's like, let's learn how to see shapes and yeah, everything in that list I was showing you. Let's turn off dynamic subdivisions. There we go. That's better. Sorry and no blink part of the lockout. I love the idea of structured workflow to follow. I'm sure I worked on a flow at some stage. If I find it later, I'll give you a copy. What are you talking about, Matt? I don't understand quite what you're trying to say. I don't mean to smooth this out too much. Okay, because I wanted to start in with the structure. Okay, so let's see if this detail brush works now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's see if I can block in these creases here. This one. Pretty dang funny. Are you trying, Matt, are you trying to say that you had a workflow at some point, like notes or something? Okay. I like those kind of those mini tutorials that are like do this, not that kind of a thing. And so that's kind of how I want to show it. Just like I want to show some pro sculptures and say, see how this sculptor followed the guidelines and here's the result kind of a thing. And then show some more like amateur intermediate sculpts and then kind of talk about how they could be improved, that kind of thing. Because I've been running the workshop for like 8 years now, almost 9. And then I structured a course a lot like you were describing a few years back. I think I have notes I can share. Oh, that'd be awesome, Matt. That'd be great. Yeah. I'm going to build this up first and then cut that line down in. This guy's jowls are so funny. Build his chin up. I really love this fill brush because sometimes it'll create like happy accidents, you know, like little edges and things that I can then keep or not. And it's like a very soft buildup. See, like this little line right here, this little smile line that it made. I can either emphasize it or get rid of it. And on this far side, it's really built up. I used to watch a photography channel on YouTube, and they had episodes called Blind Critiques, where people would send photos in for constructive criticism. Yeah, that's kind of what my what my mentorship is. So people bring their the sculpts that they're working on, and I'll give them a lot of feedback, and well, depending on how much feedback it needs, but I'll give them feedback, and then so you know what they can focus on. Basically make it more appealing and more portfolio ready. That's the idea anyway. I've been running that for about 2 years. Whoa, jeez. Sometimes ZBrush likes to just do that. Just throw a line off into the distance. I've been shortening my mentorship to 3 month and 6 month. I used to do it for a whole year, and that worked out, but it seemed a little too long. His mouth is way too flat on the side here. Just want to get this pulled back a good distance. And another rule is where the I can't remember what this is called. This little nose gutter. We'll call it the nose gutter. I'm sure people in here know what that's called, but where it connects to the nose is usually halfway between the tip of it and then where the back of the nostril is, right there. But you know, on stylized characters, you can push and break that rule. Nose gutter. Okay, and there's this triangle too. Filtrum, yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I like nose gutter better. Yeah, I feel like when you make up funny names for things, people tend to remember it more instead of like the doctor name, you know? Thought the hair, you got a look of Davros from Doctor Who. Yeah, I need to get his hair blocked in pretty soon. I think his ear got connected a little too high up here. I'll have to cut that in and pull it out. And I could probably go a little more dense on the sculptress through here. Always liked hand meat, yep, and eye meat. Helps you remember it. His lips are this lower lip meat is a little too pudgy. Let's pull that in. I think I pulled it out too far when I was looking at it from the side, because you need the lips to wrap around the teeth inside of his head. All right, I'm just gonna add a little bit of volume to this cheekbone here. I kind of want to pull it forward too. And that's following the skull underneath. Then we have this is getting pretty lumpy. I think I might smooth it way out and then put that crease back in, because it's getting a little too lumpy for my taste. And then I want to crease this or detail it out just a little bit more. Okay, I lost some power. There we go. That's a little too much, I think. Maybe if I go this direction instead. I usually like to actually have a mouth cavity in here, but for this guy, I think I'm just gonna give him a crease, a mouth crease, and then inflate it shut like this. It's too much power. Yeah, that detail brush is kind of finicky. Tends to be not enough or too much. He doesn't really have this kind of a duck lip thing happening, but I want that shadow. And the corner of his mouth is very like graphic, I guess, like not not realistic, because usually the smile line goes out past the corner of the mouth, not to it. I think that might be an AI error. I tend to not sculpt AI things, but I like the shape of this guy's face so much that I'm just like, whatever. Whatever. Okay, let's put in a line underneath here. Emphasize the one we created down here. That's a little too much, I think. Maybe. Okay, I want to shape his mouth a little bit. He's got to be grumpier. Grumpier. Super frown. Okay. Then let's get that nostril going. Okay, let's give him a... I like to put... I don't know why, but I guess I do know why. It just warms him up, but I like to get some redness in there sooner rather than later. So I'm going to eyedrop some red out of here. Use this airbrush. Turn off Sculptress and turn up the RGB intensity just a bit. And we can add just a tad on his beaky. A little too much. In his ear, but I need to pull his ear out. Like I said, it's stuck to his head too much. Kind of put some down in here. Down on his neck. Red neck. And then I tend to like to put yellow up in here. We'll just kind of bring it over to here. We got to be careful though. Don't want to put too much. And then maybe a little bit on his, where the bones are closest to the surface. Just a tad here, and then maybe on his bridge up here. And then down here, it's kind of fun to do like a 5 o'clock shadow. So I kind of pull that into the purples. A little darker, maybe not so saturated. So it's got that, especially with males. You don't really want to do it with females, but with males, you can do like that. Kind of gives that idea of a 5 o'clock shadow. I'm just being super light with it. A lot of people like to put it underneath and build up. And to me, it's just, if I'm light enough and I'm airbrushy enough, it tends to work out. And then sometimes I'll grab like that skin color again and go back over top of it to push it back in if I take it too far. Go a little lighter on the lips, looks like. And then on these like jowl things, it's a little lighter right here. I think that's because it's catching light, but I want to bring this forward just to add a little more volume, and cutting in that line introduced some lumpies. So I just want to see if I can straighten that out some. And then exaggerate this going forward here. Okay. That's pretty funny. Where did my stream go? There we go. All right, are you all still with me? Let's go to the, let's save it as a 2. I want to adjust his mouth just a little bit more. I'm trying to get that, the expression, the feel of it. It's not, the feel of it's not quite there. It's probably because of those heavier dark lines instead of the creases. I think maybe once I get it into a render engine and put some ambient occlusion in there, it might kick it up. Make it feel more like that. Okay, so with this ear, since it's attached, we can just kind of mask it off and pull it out and fix it. That's not what I wanted. I want the mask pen here. Whoop, too big. Okay. Maybe better shape here. There we go. So what we can do is we can just grab this back here. We can soften it a little bit and just kind of pull it down behind there. Trying to stay out of here. It's not mask. I guess I can mask it a little more just to be safe. So I want to use a really big brush and just kind of pull it down. And that will just make that disconnect better. But it does stretch the polygons out. So to fix that, I just turn Sculptus Pro back on and just kind of do a smoothness stroke over the top of it, and that fixes it. And now it's no longer welded to his head. Cut kind of that inner circle, then use Alt to pull out its neighbor here. There we go. And then we can detail this out a little bit more up here too. I don't want to get too thin with this top. And inflate, you know, I should adjust this inflate brush to not work with Sculptus Pro. Just to turn off, because it doesn't really work well with Sculptus Pro. It tries to generate new topology while it's inflating, and sometimes it has problems. It actually finally snowed here yesterday. We've been needing the snow. Like we have lots of ski resorts here. I'm in Utah, and they've just been struggling bad with no snow this year. His eyebrows reminded me of Eugene Levy's. Yeah. Oh, if it's an AI version of it. Yeah, it might be. Totally might be. Okay, I'm going to work on his eyelids for a second. I just want to, whoops. I'm going to mask off the eyeballs. I just want to pull the lids and make that shelf just a little thicker. And then his lower eyelids a little thinner. That shelf. And then we can darken these too. Just kind of go into this region here. I don't want to go, let's see. It's really red. That might not work. I just don't want to go too saturated is all. Okay. And then darken the actual, come on, switch, there it goes. Underneath his brows right here. And then maybe add just a bit of fake ambient occlusion in through here a little bit. Along his jawline, just to emphasize it somewhat. You can put some along the back of his head. Maybe under his nose just a little bit. It's really easy to go too heavy. Okay. Okay, let's get some brows and stuff and hair and whatnot in there. Let's see, how are we looking? 228, okay. I think the brows will really change things as well as his glasses. So I think I'm gonna start with his brows first. And I'm just gonna go just chunk it out and just manually throw some in there. Go very dark with them. Usually I don't think that's too, it's like green. Maybe a purple black. Okay, maybe something like that. All right. And then we'll split this off. And then just start doing it manually so we can scale them down this way, and scale them out this way. Whoop. Let's go local symmetry. Turn off dynamic. Go like this. And just kind of give yourself a good start to then drag. Now I probably will use Sculptors Pro for this because I can use the snake hook brush and then it'll give me new geometry as I drag like this. Let's turn this on like this. And now I won't run out as I kind of manually do this, and then I can use smooth and whatever else I need to. And with that snake hook brush, you can just kind of like swirl your brush to create curves like this. So see how it kind of has some hairs down here at the end, and they're kind of all over the place. to make them kind of bushy. There's a couple ways I could do it. I could mask it and pull them out. I could just manually pull them out. But usually manually pulling them out doesn't give the best results like this. It just kind of gives a glob, you know, and you kind of have to pull them out. You have to move the camera and give it a direction to pull them out. And you can get decent results out of it, but usually it's just too, it's a little too cumbersome. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to try masking it first. I only want it that big, and then pulling that out. Smoothing it down. I think that's a little more controlled result. Let's go really small on the mask and then pull it out. There we go. Okay. Now, as per my little list, we need to do things in 3s, 5s, and 7s and not be even. So what I'm talking about is my sculptor's eye diagnostic checklist that I was talking about earlier. If you're just joining me now, I'm working on this checklist, and I'm thinking about this rhythm and variety right here. I want uneven spaces, big, medium, small variations, and odd numbers, right? Rhythm comes from repetition with variety and not sameness. Well, what did I just do? I just made 2 and they're almost identical. So let's fix it. So what I can do is I can make this one a little bit bigger. Let's pull it out with that snake hook a little bit more. And then make a little brother down here. See, that looks better than like 3 that are exactly the same. And then this one has a weird gap. So let's fix that. Don't want to plump it up too much. You want to have a nice flowing shape. Okay. And you want to look at it from all directions. Okay, and now we can put more in there, but let's take a look at what it's looking like right now. So I need to probably add a couple more up here. So one here. Let's go smaller than that. And I want it to kind of follow the flow. It's probably too dense. I want more density, but it's kind of hard to dial it in. There it goes. That's what I want. Maybe. Otherwise, it kind of disappears. Hey, Devin, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's add in even more variety. And then what I also like to do is I like to do overlapping shapes if I can make it work. So kind of like shingles on a roof or bricks or something. Meaning if I come down in between these two and just kind of paint a little mask right here, maybe a little bit bigger like this, invert that and pull that out forward and then kick it back this way. Just because if you look at it from certain angles, it'll start to break up that silhouette and look a bit more interesting, I guess. So like sometimes if you're moving the camera, so it'll catch in that silhouette from certain angles. And I'll probably put another small one just right down here. You can just do as many of these as you want. Just try not to make them same-ish. And keep the flow. Keep the direction. So I'll probably put another one here and I'll stagger it. So maybe like right there. Let's make it bigger. And pull it out. And cut it right in between these two guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't crash. Oh, suck. I felt it. I felt a disturbance in the force. Oh, it had been a while since I had saved it too. Son of a bee. I haven't had a crash like that in a long time. Sorry, give me 1 second. Also an artist, just started my career in 3D. Nice. Okay, ZBrush is starting up again. And it's going to say, you just crashed. Hopefully there's an autosave on it. Oh, this is a guy I've been working on. Let's see. Quick saves, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, my eyebrows are gone. Gosh dang it. Let's see if my last tool is the same one. Kind of. Gosh darn it. I gotta do it again. Oh, goodness. Well, better the second time, right? I think it got rid of my ambient occlusion paint job too. Wah wah. That's no good. That's what I always tell myself whenever a program crashes, is it'll turn out better the second time because now you've practiced. Right? Or you can go for a walk, come back. Oh man, it got rid of my ear fix too, and my ear, ugh. All right. I'll go fast. Sorry, guys. Okay, we'll go fast. I probably won't talk here for just a minute because I'm going to move fast. It's like a time lapse, right? Trying to be hasty. Okay, I want to add a little bit more lobe. More lobe, like more cowbell. Okay, that'll work. Okay, let's see. Browse, here we go. Gonna be quick. It was that bug that came back. I need to tell him about it. Smoothing while using Sculptors Pro crashed it. Unfortunately. Okay. I'm going to start with an appendage this time instead of a sphere. I pushed it into the head a little too far here. Come on. Okay, I gotta go get my reference. Like, see, import. This one. Nope, this Z startup didn't work that time. Oh well. Okay. Back to, it's a little bit too thick here. Yeah, spotlight projection. Yeah. It was on. And it looks like my Sculptors Pro is also back on. Yep. Come on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Dang it. Oh well. I think I'm gonna make one big one right here. And then two little ones, like kind of like I had before, but paying a little more attention to the flow of it, having them kind of kick out. You can kind of do a fade on the mask, which is nice. And then when you pull it out, it's like, oops, invert. When you pull it out, it's not such a harsh edge right there. See, there's variety in size, spacing, and kind of flow, shape. Yeah, thanks, Neil. And we'll give it a whoop right there. Yeah. All right, good call. There we go. I feel like we're close to back to where we were, but they're way too long now. I gotta go. It's like they're back by his ear. Make him much squattier. Back to local with dynamic turned off. Just trying to scale them down. Kind of look like a wing, which is funny. I'm trying to decide if I want to actually put more of those little spikies out or if I just want to use 3. I'm liking the 3, so I think this one could be just a little more spiky. And sometimes if you can't quite get it in control with Sculptress Pro in the smooth brush, just turn off Sculptress Pro while you're using inflate and smooth, and sometimes it's a little easier to control. Okay, so and then what I can do maybe to the surface is do this carve brush and just kind of run it like this. Again, variety. There we go. Let's go kind of a peak down on the bottom here. I kind of let the light tell me where it wants to be. There we go. See, those are fun, right? Yeah, that's fun. And that'll show up in like a 3D print and stuff. Very swoopy. Swoopy, swoopy. We can even swoop them a tad more. Curl them a little more. There we go. So, yeah, that's, again, back to my list. There's rhythm and variety, density and flow, structure and plane harmony, all those things I just went through making these eyebrows. Okay, I'm going to pull these ends up a little bit more and then carve in some lines on the surface of his head just to add to that grr face. Sometimes it gives a weird direction on this. I need to try that geo brush out. Have you guys tried that geo brush out? I think Geo and Pablo collaborated on a brush that's kind of like a Damien standard brush, but it has a little more flow to it. Gosh dang it. I want to add surface. Whoops. I'm adjusting the RGB intensity, not the... I want to add density without smoothing it out. And you can do that by turning your smooth brush power all the way down and then cranking the density of Sculptress Pro down as well, or up, however you want to look at it. Just make your smooth brush just barely have any power at all. Okay. There we go, back in action, right? Okay, so we can put a few lines in here. This detail brush. I'm gonna turn off symmetry for a second and just kind of add some of these. I don't want to go too crazy. And then again, I'm looking for like thin to thick, variety, not the same size. Maybe one more right down in there. There we go. That's kind of fun. And when I pose him, I'll also pose him, like give him an asymmetrical expression too. So it doesn't look like I'm going to quite get to the hair, but at least I want to get it blocked in. We'll see how fast I can do it here. All right, Neil. The little Neil on my shoulder. Okay. See, like I said, doing this again, you know, I feel like it turned out a little better than what I had before. So, happy accidents. Whoops, I don't mean to do that. I want to do split unmasked points. Okay. This is kind of a asymmetrical hair, so just kind of pull it over like this. And it kind of has a dual part. There's a part over here that comes down quite a bit down his forehead and goes along. It's like a beret right now. Okay, and then what we can do is I'm going to grab this cloth brush. I don't want Sculptress on. And just kind of pull it up and out towards me along this ridge line. Just to build up that curve, because I want to pull the actual shape down into his head to give it some origin. I don't want to curve. I don't want it curving down into his head. I want it going straight. And then curving up at the top. And then on this side, it needs to kind of get pulled. But it has an origin growing out of his head. Then it kind of swoops up and out like a wave. I'm going to give myself a little more geometry, subdivide and then delete lower. And then we got this kind of point. Right there. It did, but you don't need to do what you don't need the odd number variety this time. Yeah. Okay, and we'll just kind of make it swoop from here. And then again on this side, we'll just kind of bring it down so there's not a curve into his head. Oh, it looks like a flat top, like a Navy beret or a Army beret or something like that. That's funny. Kind of pulled it a little too high up here. But I like the edge loops to kind of go in the direction that the hair is going, because it kind of gives it direction, you know, a little bit. Kind of curl it out and forward. Okay. And now we can get a sphere on the side. I'm going to turn on symmetry for these because it's pretty much the same on both sides. Kind of comes to a point right there. And then down in front of the ear, curl it up. I'm going to do a ZBrush. Because it's getting very low. I'm going to subdivide it once. ZBrush, same, sure, let's try it out. Oh, I need to turn off symmetry now. Okay, I should have hit keep groups. Keep groups. And then turn smooth groups way down to about here. That's better. All right, third time's a charm, right? I'm gonna turn symmetry back on. Hopefully I can get this to combine in the back. I don't want to edit this. I'm gonna actually split this off. And then we can do a mirror and weld on it. Just so we know it's exactly symmetrical. And then we can just kind of close this gap. Now it's going to look weird for a minute. And then inflate it closed. So inflate will cross the center, but move won't. So we can do a mirror and weld like this. And that'll weld it together. And then it gives it a big old lumpy. Okay, let's get move again. Okay, so now that we have this, now we can do ZBrush with symmetry. It'll get rid of that weird geometry in the middle. And again, we don't want it to curl underneath here. So we can pull it into the head, make it straight. We want it to clear that ear. So I'm going to do, let's see, it's past time now, but I'm going to do a couple strokes on it. Just we'll subdivide it up here. And then just get this carve brush. We'll move it forward just to give it a little more shape here. And then carve brush. I'm going to subdivide it again. Let's see here. Okay. So that's telling me I need a little more density through here. Or not density, volume. Volume. Just so when I do the hair strokes, it doesn't carve it all the way down into his head. I do want to show skin here, but not here. Again, I need to do variety. I need to adjust this brush so it not only does a fall off, but it also tapers. It's something I need to mess with. You a bigger brush. Then you can do opposite. Just kind of bring it up. I'm trying not to make it samey. It's difficult sometimes. See, it'll give me like these swoopies like this. That's not what I want. You gotta be careful. You know, I'm gonna try and adjust that brush off screen and see if I can get it to taper. I just barely thought about that. See how it's just straight and it doesn't go thin at the end? It's just like a straight. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there and then see if I can adjust that brush. I really want it to taper to nothing. So, all right, everybody. Well, thanks so much. Where can I get this hairbrush? Well, I need to put it back on my website because usually I used to give it away for free. Well, all of these. These are all my custom brushes. I used to give them away on 3D Character Workshop. So just keep an eye out there. I'll put them back up there eventually. Right now you can get them in I have a school right now, skool.com. But it's a paid membership, so you can get them from there. But I need to put them back up for free in a little bit. So. But this brush is very similar to the Orb Cracks brush, which that brush set is also a paid set. Yeah. And then there's also a slash, it's called /2, and you can use that as well. Let me try that one. That one is located in the Lightbox brushes, Maxon slash, and it's called /2 right there. And this one it's interesting because, man, that's heavy. All right, let's turn that down. There we go. So what this one does, it makes a step like that. So it's like a kind of a swoop and a step. I kind of like that. And depending on the direction you go, that will put the step on there. And it'll make it look like it's got several layers. Like that. It's kind of cool. That's not really the look I'm after, but it's kind of fun. It's an easy way to give it steppies. That might work actually. Let me pump up the intensity just a bit so it gives it a little bit bigger shelf. There you go. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I was using this last week on my goblin. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. It looks like it all of a sudden added like layered details. So that's just /2 if you want to play with that. Turn on transparency, and it's kind of cool that you can, whoops, didn't mean to spin them like crazy. It's cool that you can start and just kind of like merge them together if you're careful enough, like that, to make it look like one is coming out from underneath the other one. It's probably a little too heavy now. I need to tune it maybe a 10. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Gosh dang it, I keep starting on the nothing of his head. Yeah, it doesn't do that when you have this transparency turned off, because but it'll kind of ignore behind the ear, so that's why I wanted to have it showing. Yeah, anyway, kind of fun. Kind of messed up right there. Just take some practice, I think. Go that way with that one. Yeah, it's hard because it kind of presses out. That's pretty cool. You can kind of dig in and dig out, but depends. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm working on a brand new course. So yeah, be on the lookout at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I'm going to be working on that, and I'll let you guys know. If you're on my emailing list, if you've ever downloaded my brushes from before, you're on my emailing list. And I'll be giving away this checklist fairly soon. So be on the lookout for this. I am going to be putting example images over here that kind of point to what I'm talking about over here. So yeah, I'll be giving that away for free soon as well. And then I'm going to be doing a whole workshop based off of that list, and it's called Learning How to See. So I'm going to teach you how to see shapes and volumes and help your characters get to be more appealing. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I really appreciate it. Happy sculpting, and we'll catch you all next week. All right, have a good one. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks, Neil. We'll see you guys.